The Great Repeal Bill is a great lie to deceive Brexiteers. What does the Great Repeal Bill convert into UK law? The bill will ensure that wherever possible the same rules and laws apply on the day after we leave the EU as before. So in other words, there is no Brexit. This means that the bill will convert directly applicable EU law, statutes and acts, EU regulations into UK law, paragraph 2.4. It will preserve all the laws we have made in the UK to implement our EU obligations, paragraph 2.5. The rights in the EU treaties that can be relied on directly in court by an individual will continue to be available in the UK, paragraph 2.11. And the bill will provide that historic CJEU case law be given the same binding or precedent status in our courts and as decisions of our own Supreme Court, paragraph 212 to 217. There is no Brexit. There you have it in, well, black and blue on a white background. But there is no Brexit. How much more do you need to see? We're being betrayed by a treasonous government. When are we going to take the country back? Water companies should be given powers to introduce compulsory metering to reduce waste, says MPs. Well, MPs can piss off. How about the water companies stopping the leaks that they've got all over the place? Then we wouldn't need any of this shit. We consider that using meters to ensure customers pay for their use rather than basing bills on the old system of rateable values send a strong message to customers about the value of water. In other words, let's rip the public off even further. And if you're one of the daft ones that's actually paying for water, wake up. Hundreds of dead baby girls have been found in Pakistan rubbish dumps. And we let this sort of scum into this country. Since the beginning of 2017, a total of 345 babies were found dead in Karachi, with 99% being girls, as parents still prefer boys in Pakistan. Terrorists who enter the country illegally handed £250,000 in legal aid. Yet if you or I need to go to court, you've got no hope. But if you're a terrorist, the government are fully behind you. A terrorist described as the very model of a modern Al-Qaeda terrorist has won $250,000 in legal aid to fight deportation. Kick the This just shows you how evil Israel is. Israeli soldier gives 74-year-old Palestinian woman water, then shoots her in the head. During the Israeli bombardment and shelling of the Gaza Strip last summer, this was in 2015, an Israeli soldier approached a 74-year-old Palestinian woman, I can't even read the name, to give her a sip of water. He gave her the water, took a photo with her, and then he shot her in the head from a distance of 1 metre. He then watched as she bled to death, the Palestinian Information Centre reported. Any other soldier from any other country and there would be war over this, but because it's the demonic Israel, they get away with it. The Mirror. Apparently, there's nothing worth reporting in the papers at all Oh, apart from Strictly Sean and In Between Us star Emily Shearer Cozy Night Out, comic left girlfriend at home for another date. Some bloke going on a date is front page headlines, according to the Mirror. Can you see they put nothing in these papers worth reading? And if you're still buying them, you've got to screw loose. And on the next to that, you've got the paedophile Gordon Brown. The Tories' universal credit has to be axed. I actually agree with that, but doesn't stop from the fact that he is a child-raping paedophile and still a member of paedophiles and was Prime Minister. So you can rape kids if you're in their gang and you get promoted. Royal wedding exclusive. Parasite alert. Clear off. Or clear off. Homeless told to move on from Eugene carriage route. Council, scum-sucking criminal council, threatens to seize their sleeping bags and clothes. Can you not see? We are in a dictatorship. The Guardian. Tory benefit cuts will spark poll tax style chaos, claims Brown. When are the rest of the population going to stand up against this criminal activity by the governments? Don't forget, people can recognise 5,000 faces. Donald Trump US ambassador quits. Minister, we could ease safety rules on fracking. Oh, that's great, that is. That's just fine, isn't it? Let them poison the water table even further. The minister, all of them, need jailing. They are absolute frigging criminals. Why I now think Brexit could be an opportunity. What frigging Brexit? The scum. Another waste of space piece of shit that thinks Strictly is headline news as opposed to reporting on the paedophiles in Nottingham, the paedophiles in Parliament, the paedophiles in all councils, the paedophiles in the Royals. No, that's not important. Let's give them some bullshit which will make them look the other way. Dolph, my fivesome with Grace. Well, I think you'll find that if it was a fivesome, you need 3 more as well. That's how thick this paper is. Kataya rat caught in act. Moment Strictly Sean ranted at girlfriend he was cheating on. Psycho caller. The scum really has no... Can't write news, because this is not news, this is bullshit. 2 million too much for Eugene wedding. Yeah, we all know that, but what you going to do? What you going to do about it, eh? Well, what you can do is start writing letters complaining to Parliament. Not that it'll make a blind bit of difference, but at least they'll see how pissed off the public is with them wasting our money. The Times. Property tycoon takes out 80 million mortgage on London flat. I've got a feeling here he knows what's coming, so if he takes this mortgage out now, he can go and spend it wherever he likes, and when the crash comes and the banks go pfft, he won't have to pay it back. Just an idea. A third of under 25s now drink no alcohol. Consumption by young adults hits record low. May to force Cabinet into fresh Brexit compromise. In other words, bend over further because the European Union wants to stick it up your arse. And the resign Trump thing, the picture. Daily Fail. How Eugene and Jack are related to same slave trading con men. Yes, all the royals are related to slave traders. Just like Cameron's family made their money from slave trading and opium running. You see, if you're a criminal in this country, you get all the benefits. Unless you're not in their gang, in which case they lock you up. Mental health checks for all pupils. I tell you who needs mental health checks. Parliament. Strictly Shameless Cha-Cha Cheese will dance on Saturday. Who gives a shit about friggin' Strictly Dancing? And a couple that have kissed. Ooh, let's make that headline news because that's important. Is it bollocks? The tell-lie graph. Cannabis review could relax drug laws. Expert panel has open mind on legislation despite fears over mental health risks. Utter shit. It is well known, if you've done any research at all into this subject, cannabis, indica cannabis, cures many, many medical problems, including cancer. Now, sativa is good for mental health problems, but while we're on about indica for the time being, the doctors who are attempting to murder us all now randomly give cancer patients warfarin. They'll claim it's to thin the blood, and it does thin blood, but it also blocks your CBD and THC receptors. So if you're on warfarin, you can take as much cannabis oil as you want and it will do no good whatsoever. They know cannabis oil cures cancer and they're doing this to stop it. A side note, if you have breast cancer and it's estrogen rich, which they will tell you it is, what type it is, you mustn't take cannabis oil, or should I say, you must take high CBD, low THC. If you do it the normal way with high THC, low CBD, it will actually enrage the cancer and make it go faster. So be very, very careful on that particular subject. Trump's UN chief quits amid 2024 rumours. Nurse forced to put paperwork first. Yeah, do the paperwork, let them die. I told you, all hospitals are now on a kill mission. Don't go to hospitals unless it's for broken bones. If you're old, and by old, then you don't even have to be old now. I've heard of some hospitals asking 50-year-olds to sign DNR paperwork, do not resuscitate. So they give you something, you fall asleep. Oh yeah, he's going to die, we'll not resuscitate him. Eugene and her Jack of Hearts, the slave traders. Schools to monitor their pupils' happiness. Big brother in your face. Drop new troubles inquiry. Express. TV's Dicker appears outrage as academic brands Churchill a racist. He was not just a racist, he was a multi-murderer. He was one of the most evil men to live in the UK, after Aleister Crowley, of course. He carpet bombed Dresden, and then an hour or two afterwards, when the Germans were coming out to put the fires out and to try and repair the damage, he carpet bombed them again. And you can see pictures of them where they were out doing things and they start running and they've been bombed with fire bombs, and all you can see is this scorched place of where they were running and on the ground. This man was a criminal, an absolute traitor. We'll hold our nerve for best deal, says Brexit secretary. Except, of course, there is no Brexit. Yesterday I reported how we are so integrated, and the German Chancellor said that the EU military is ready to take over from the UN. But wait, the lying bastards in Parliament said there is no EU military. And we're all tied in with it. If you think there's any chance of a Brexit, you're living in cloud cuckoo land. Exclusive. Soaring property prices, and prices always soar before the crash, leave record numbers stranded with parents. 3.4 million young adults stuck at home. By design, that's been one of their plans all along. Parasite alert. Double take. Why William and Kate are the perfect match? Because they're both Satanists. That's why they're the perfect match. Aye. What happened to Jamil Khashoggi? UK and US put pressure on Saudi Arabia. The new space race. Branson versus Musk versus Bezos. Well, they're all a bunch of too rich bleeding parasites anyway. The joy of West African cuisine and 5 dishes to try. Independent Scotland Insight. Sturgeon tells SNP conference. Well, wait a minute. Just hold it a second there. Why, if you wanted an independent Scotland, why did you fix the vote last time the independence vote came about and you were putting all those that voted to leave in the stay side? Oh, because you're a bunch of lying, parasitical, scumbag, satanic, low-life scum, and this planet will be a lot better when you lot are gone. Brexit minister dodges Chequers questions because she knows it's a pack of lies. The NHS needs you as slave labour. Health chief want army of unpaid helpers to support exhausted medical staff and improve patient care. Slavery, that's known as. Volunteer passport plan would make it easier for anyone with training to help the health service. 100 NHS trusts now want social movement to take hospitals more productive. To make hospitals more productive. In other words, we want slave labour to make hospitals more productive. And there's some of you out there that are just dumb enough to go and do it. Metro. You can see why it's free, because it's full of shit. Let's face the music and dance. Strictly bullshit. And now more utter propaganda crap. Gran blows spy's cover. She proudly shows photo of Novichok suspect with Putin. Where? Where is this picture then? Oh, it doesn't exist, or for some reason they're not going to show it. If you're going to make a statement like that, have some evidence and show the photo to back it up. Otherwise, we'll just assume it's a pack of lies. But it's in the papers, so it's going to be a pack of lies. Top Trump diplomat resigns. Davis warns PM over Brexit. Parasite, lovely in lavender. Financial Times. Preta Manga. Food chain needs to take control of allergy issues. Debunking the fear that robots are taking over. In other words, robots are taking over. We're just going to be debunking it so that you think that they're not. Riyadh must speak out over missing journalist. Envoy Haley quits in fresh blow to Trump. Bank of England ramps up Brexit warning over 41 trillion of derivatives. Derivatives is another scandal waiting to burst. London leads global clearing. Contracts at risk for uncertainty. EU banks face cost rise. Aviva ejects Chief Wilson as frustration as tragedy and share price boils over. CMA prompted to run rule over Big Four auditors. Dennis Healy. World events do not occur by accident. They are made to happen, whether it is to do with national issues or commerce, and most of them are staged and managed
by those who hold the purse strings.